everybody. Welcome to Andale Run. Thank you for tuning in this week to our podcast. We really do appreciate it. And we just want to take a moment and remind you that we are on the socials, Instagram and TikTok, and also, of course, on Spotify, YouTube, and also Apple Podcasts, where you want to listen, however you want to listen. So if you would, it would help us out tremendously if you gave us a follow and also leave a review and or comment. It helps us tremendously, so that would be great. And also, please don't forget to share to those who you think may enjoy our conversations. And so, without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to Abe so that way he can introduce our guest today.
Yeah, so I am very excited to introduce our guest today. She's a two-time NXN All-American, seven-time All-State, and three-time state champion here in Illinois. She has PRs of 2:15 in the 800, 4:51 in the 16, and 10:16 in the 2 mile. Also 15:39 3 mile on the grass and cross country. This is Isabella Keller.
So, welcome to the podcast, Isabella. We really do appreciate your time. And wow, you've had such an incredible past several months. And before we jump into that, I just want to ask real quick, how are you doing today, Isabella?
I'm doing very good.
Yeah,
Yes.
awesome. School is going well.
Mhm.
Yeah, awesome. So actually, before we get into other questions, so real quick, like, is there anything in school that, like, a particular class that you enjoy more so than others?
Um, I'm not really sure. I like math a lot. It's challenging, but I like the numbers and stuff. I'm more on that type of interest than the English and like literature type stuff. I don't really like those classes. So,
All
yeah.
right, all right. Well, we won't tell the teachers, so that way, and all that kind of stuff. So okay. Well, Abe actually has some questions that he's going to kick us off with. So I'm going to, Abe, why don't you go ahead and ask the questions that you got?
Yeah. Yeah, so, once again, it's an honor to have you on. And if we just jump right in, I think you this December, you had an insane race at NXN. You got fourth place, All American top five. You beat a lot of really good talent. So can you just walk us through that race and like your thought process before, during the race, your strategy, just overall, what you thought about it?
Yeah, I definitely had pretty high expectations coming into NXN after state. It was just, I guess, a little bit disappointing for me be finishing second, but it was such an honor to get to race Sunny Weber, and finishing second to her was nothing to be, um, disappointed about. Um, because she's an amazing competitor, and I mean, she is one of a kind, and so it was an honor to get to race her, and she was, just like half a second off of the state record. So
Yeah.
an amazing race to her. And so, yeah, just after that race, though, still a little disappointed. So coming into NXN, I had pretty high expectations, and finishing eighth my freshman year, I just wanted to try to be able to improve on that for this year. And so my goal kind of coming into the race was just try to get top five in my mindset. And so going into the race, I was pretty confident in everything leading up to it. And then the day of the race, I was feeling good. And so I just tried to get out quick to where I'm not in the back of the whole group since there's, 200 competitors. But I was kind of around like 30th place through the first K. So still a little bunched in from the beginning, but I don't like to start out super fast. And so then by the 2K, I kind of moved up a little bit around 20th, and then just keep trying to build from there. At the 3K, I was in fifth place. And then after the 3K, I still had quite a bit of energy. So then that's whenever I moved up into fourth place, and then tried to stay with the top three girls, but didn't end up catching them in the end. But to finish fourth place was just a really good way to end my season. And so I was really happy with that finish.
Yeah, that's great, obviously. So how would you say like your experience this time at NXN was to your freshman year? Like, were you more experienced, or did you know what to expect more?
Yeah, I would say every year at this kind of national level races, it's going to be different. So, yeah, I did feel like I had a little bit more experience, but it could be so different from one year to the next. But yeah, it was kind of nice having that previous year to kind of know just a little bit more about the course and just how most people race at that type of meet, just with the atmosphere and like the mindset of most people. And so, yeah, it was just nice having that little bit of background. And I think I was, guess, a little bit more prepared. So it was kind of nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Nice. So
Mhm.
for like the NXN, having been there previously before, um, could you maybe share, because they have a lot of things, I guess, for the athletes that you partake in and everything. And how was that for you? Um, and also maybe what is like the biggest takeaway that you've had from this past season uh, at NXN?
Yeah, it's an awesome experience that they put together for all the athletes. You get to go in there Thursday and do some fun activities, and they have the opening ceremonies over at the Nike World headquarters. And so it's just really awesome getting to go there and do the fun stuff there. And then the next day, you get to go through the course and you get all of your gear with like the special backpack and stuff. And so there's the 9 different regions. And so each region has their own custom uniforms and everything. So it's really fun to get to take pictures with your own team and then also with all the other regions at the course and just get to meet a lot of new people that you don't usually get to talk to or race to from all over the country. So it's just a really fun experience. And then obviously Saturday's the race day. And then you get to have a party after the race and everything at the hotel. So it's just a really fun time. And they definitely take care of you well. And yeah, I think my biggest takeaway from this season is just, um, don't, yeah, set, goals for yourself that you know that you can achieve, but still, you want them to be hard to achieve. That way, whenever you achieve them, they mean something, but also don't set such just high goals that, whenever you come short, that you're so disappointed. But whenever you look back, you realize that you actually did well. So, yeah, just really enjoy the process and just try to stay healthy too. That's a big thing. And if you're healthy, then you can be consistent and keep up with all the races and training and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said you mentioned trying to stay healthy. So what have you done or as like part of your routine to help you stay healthy?
Yeah, I definitely think eating a lot is one big thing. I've always kind of struggled with that. I feel like I, have always eaten a lot, but then I look back at all the training that I'm doing and it's just not enough for me. And so I
Hmm.
think that's definitely a big thing, just focusing a lot on nutrition and probably even more so than that, the recovery for me. I'm just one of those people that likes to try to work out hard every single day and just keep go, 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 go. And that's just not something you can do in this sport or really many sports, but there's some sports you can, but especially running, you just cannot go train hard every day. Your body really needs time to recover to absorb all the benefits of the hard work that you do. And so I think that was the biggest thing for me, just kind of um, getting a little bit more laid back on my training. Talking with my coaches, they really kind of have to hold me back a lot. And I'm always wanting to do more, but they're like, no, you got to really trust the training and have more rest and recovery. And I always sleep really good, but I think just the training I was doing was too much for me. So I had to
Hmm.
focus more on recovery days and just doing less training and not so much running and just really trying to keep my body healthy in that kind of way.
Sure. So I saw on your Instagram recently because you were doing something with Quoros, but I picked up that you swim as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I've been a swimmer competitively since I was little, since I was like 5 years old. I have 3 older siblings that are a lot older than me, and they were all also swimmers as well, and then also runners too. But
Uh,
we all started first with swimming, and it really just helps you get a lot of aerobic fitness without obviously pounding on your legs and body. And so, um, yeah, I'm usually pretty injury prone, and so the swimming really helps me to keep my body healthy and stuff. And so, I do a lot of that implemented throughout the whole entire year, and swim with our swim team and stuff. So I think that really helps me because I do a lot of low mileage, but obviously, as a distance runner, you need to have a lot of endurance. So I get a lot of that from swimming and then just focus more on speed work whenever I do my miles and running.
wow.
So since you're in both, which one would you say is harder, running or swimming?
I think swimming, the swim workouts are just crazy. Like you have so much lactic and you're just pushing through it. I think swimming's harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've swam maybe one time in my like life. I did like 4 sets of like a few minutes at a time. It was probably harder than any running workout I've done in
Yeah,
less than
it's hard.
so,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
and there's a
challenging.
lot of days that I swim easy too for
Mm.
recovery and just maybe I'll only do that one of the days like after a hard cross country race or track race just to really recover, but that's an easy day, but then sometimes instead of like a running workout, I'll implement a swim workout in to kind of try to get the same benefits but without the running, and yeah, those are some hard workouts for sure.
Yeah. So it sounds like so you do multiple. There are other things you do besides just like training for running that really helps you later on, uh, in your events and those kind of things. And swimming certainly sounds like that, or like one of those things for you.
Yeah.
So how do you swim? Maybe once a week? Is that kind of, or do you swim more often?
It depends. If I cuz like right now I'm taking a little break from running and just doing cross training. So
Mm.
if I'm not doing any running, then I'll probably swim 5 to 6 times a week.
Okay.
Um, but during like the cross country season and track season when I'm really focusing on running and running, 5 to 6 days a week and really focusing on that, then I'll probably swim maybe 3 or 4 days a week, so not as many of those. And I still run and swim on the same days, but the swimming might be a lot less. Whereas right now, since I'm just kind of doing cross training, my swimming sessions are a lot longer. Yeah.
Hmm.
You're not running right now, and there's indoor meets starting. Actually, just yesterday we went to Misfits, and I competed there. Well, like what time frame would you like? Are you expecting to get back into racing and get back into indoor season?
Yeah, I plan on probably starting my indoor season like end of February to beginning of March or something like that.
Mm.
I think one of my first races I'll go to is just kind of like a smaller meet just around near our area. And then my second race, I hope to go to Nike Indoor Nationals in New York. So, yeah.
Mm.
Awesome.
That's cool.
What?
I think yeah,
Go
for
ahead, Abe.
indoors, we'll also be there. So say hi there.
So what events do you, because you primarily do the 32, is that right?
Yeah, I do the 1600 and the 3200 mainly.
Okay, okay. So is there a preference for you on either one of those events?
I like the longer distances better. That's why I really like cross country a lot. So I'd say I probably like the 3200 a little bit better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. I mean, I any running, I'm like, man, that's awesome because I can't go as fast as a lot of you guys. But so I'm interested. Like, so you mentioned that you have older siblings, and so have because of your older siblings, is that the reason why maybe you got into running, or was there somebody else that kind of encouraged you to do that, or how did you get into running?
I definitely got into running through my older sister, Anna Sophia. She went to Notre Dame to run track and cross country.
Okay.
And yeah, she's 10 years older than me. And so whenever I was younger, she's my only girl sibling that I have. I have two older brothers as well. And so I think she just played a big influence because she was like my older sister. And, obviously I was a girl too. So I just wanted to do a lot of the same things that she did. And so going to her races whenever I was younger, getting to watch her compete and just how she, achieved a lot of amazing things. And it was just really cool to watch her be able to do all those things that she did. And so that really inspired me from a young age. And I wanted to try to be able to have a lot of the success that she did as well in high school. And so I think that's kind of how I got into it. And then my dad he helps coach my sister and he helps coach me now as well. And so he is just very supportive and very knowledgeable in all of the things that he knows about training and everything. And so it's really helpful having him here for me, whenever I need him. And so yeah, him and then also my sister just helped me get inspired, and then I just fell in love with the sport, and they never pushed it on me, but just as I continued to train and everything, I just started to fall in love with it.
That's it's always, I mean, having family, right? It's always helpful and to have that support and everything. And so, with that inspiration from your family, is there anybody maybe on a in a collegiate level or pro level that you're like, man, like I really like that individual, or you try to emulate them, or or whatever the case may be? Is there anyone like that for you?
Yeah, I'd say first the collegiate level, probably someone super inspiring. I mean, there's a lot, but Jane Hedegren, I got to race her quite a few times even in high school because as a freshman and sophomore, she was just a junior and a senior since she's only 2 years older than me. And one time at the Nike Twilight race, actually last year, she was right next to me in my starting box. And so, yeah, I've had a couple of races with her, but yeah, she's this amount of growth that she's made. She was incredible in high school, and just even the jump just right now into college and what she's done is just incredible. So that's super inspiring. And then at the collegiate level, I mean the pro level, um, I really like Faith Kipyegon, just how the amazing things that she's done, and she's a mother too, and just having that, and while also focusing on your training is just super impressive, and how she, has a super fast kick all the way, down from an 800 all the way to a 5K, and it's just really impressive the range that she has.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that, they're both they're both absolutely incredible. And what incredible young lady, or well, women to look up to, all right, and hopefully be able to be in their shoes maybe later on in life and everything. And so that's great. And so Isabella, so with track season now here in the swing of things, indoor at least. Do you have any goals or anything if like you want to accomplish this upcoming season?
Yeah, a big goal of mine is just really to stay healthy. Nothing, running related goal, but yeah, that's just a big thing for me. I struggled with that. Last track season, I couldn't run all the way from January through all of April, and then I was able to come back at the very beginning of May and start running and be able to run sectionals and then IHSA state track. So that was really exciting, but yeah, I didn't know I was gonna be able to get to do that, so I just really wanna be able to stay healthy this year, and then I think that a lot of my time goals and other placement goals will kind of come with that if I'm able to stay healthy, and then if that follows, I'll be able to train and just do the races consistently. So yeah, I'm just really hoping for that and just to be able to hopefully improve a little bit from my freshman year times as well.
Sure. So, so it sounds like last year you were experiencing some injuries and everything, and so I'm always curious, like as far as athletes, how have what did you do to be able to maintain, like stay in the game in a sense, like to like, man, I still want to run and those kind of things, and still stay engaged in the sport. Was there anything that you did, or people encouraging you, or what happened there?
Yeah, for those yeah, about 3.5 months I couldn't run. I just all I could really do was swimming because I had a pretty bad knee problem. I could bike a little bit, but the only intensity part of my training that I could do was in swimming. So I would just kind of try to replicate some like running workouts that I would do if I was healthy in the pool. And then just also some body weight exercises that I could do. I couldn't really do anything with my legs, but I could do some arm things and ab things just to kind of round out my body. But yeah, whenever I started to come back about 3 weeks before state and I was cleared to start running again by my doctor, my legs were pretty weak because I couldn't even do any weights with them, let alone run. And so it was just that was the only part. I had aerobic fitness, but just my strength was completely gone from all of those weeks. So it was hard to be ready enough in 3 weeks, but I got as ready as I could. And yeah, it definitely wasn't at my best, but I was super happy with the progress I was able to maintain throughout those long months for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you talked about staying physically fit and yeah, as much as possible without running. How do you stay like mentally locked in, and like what is your mentality like when you can't run?
Yeah, that was definitely some really hard months for me. Just a lot of, you know, kind of just feeling down and just like disappointed in myself and stuff. And so, yeah, it was pretty hard, but I just had to tell myself, like, what are the reasons I'm doing this for? And like, it's because, I want to enjoy it too. And so at that point, I just didn't even really care, like, what my times were going to be whenever I started running again. I just wanted to get back to running because I just enjoyed the sport so much. So I just, tried to tell myself that I'm doing this hard work to be able to do what I wanna enjoy later in life and just not so much for time goals, and so, yeah, it was pretty hard trying to, let go of those goals because I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to improve as much as I had wanted to from the years before,
Right.
with the circumstances that I was under. But, yeah, I just tried to stay positive, but, there's some days where it was really hard and you just don't feel motivated, so there's some days where, I didn't do anything because I just felt like that, but then there's some days where you still feel kind of, you know, you don't want to do stuff, but you just tell yourself you just got to do it anyway and just put in the hard work. And so, yeah, it was helpful having my dad there to help me as well. So, yeah.
So it sounds like you had, of course, your family support during that time. Was there anybody else that came around to be able to support you while you were, kind of having those ebbs and flows mentally?
Um, I'd say it was mostly, yeah, just my family for the mentality part. I had my doctor that obviously helped me with my knee and stuff. There wasn't any treatment we could do, it was just relative rest. So just no running for that long time. So I guess my doctor didn't really have much of a role in it. He just told me, I had to lay off of it and then when I could start running. So it's just mostly my family there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess whenever someone faces adversity, such as an injury that may take you out for a little bit, there's a lot of reflection. Like you said, you asked yourself, like, why, why do I want to do this sport? Why do I want to continue in this sport and everything? And so, um, is there, do you mind sharing maybe something that came up while you were reflecting on that, like why you want to keep running or why you want to run?
Yeah, I don't know. I find a lot of enjoyment in running. Whereas swimming and the other stuff, I just don't enjoy it as much, but I kind of have to do it just to stay healthy. But yeah, running is just something that, I don't know, just makes you feel good after you do it too, I feel like. And it's just really fun being able to compete in a different way that other sports don't really get to do and just talking to a lot of new people and then also just pushing yourself in training. Sometimes also you have to do it smartly and not push yourself too much, but then trying to improve in just little things every day. And then once you do improve a lot, it's just really rewarding to look back at, all the patience that you had to, wait for and the work that you put in. And then whenever you finally see those results, it's just really rewarding. And so I think that's what's really brings me joy from this sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was gonna say, you said something, about how cross country and track is different from every other sport in the sense of competing because, every other sport, most other sports, it's a team versus team, where in cross country and track, there's teams, but you're also competing against individuals. Is there any like one person or individual that you really like to compete against?
Yeah, there's a lot for sure. I loved getting to race Sunny Weber for sure, at state, and then I got to race her at NXR, and then she was like my teammate at NXN, so that was really fun getting to have her, and then also Kyla Babb at NXN, just having, two other Illinois girls was really awesome. And then from other states, it was really nice getting to talk to another girl on our Midwest team. She's from Michigan, Emma Hoffman. She's committed to go to Colorado next year. So it was really fun talking to her. She was super nice. And also Blair Bartlett from New Jersey, who finished second at NXN and the Brooks cross country race. She's just a really amazing competitor. So there's so many too, but those are some of my, yeah, favorites probably.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, uh, I was wondering, like, so you're a junior now. So you started running when you were in middle school?
Yeah, I started running in 5th grade. just kind of training and stuff. Um, Not competitively then, because our school wouldn't let us compete then, but I started getting into competitive racing with our grade school in 6th grade.
Okay. So you've been doing this for a few years now. So my question is uh, what is it from this sport that maybe has you have learned as a life lesson that you can apply to life from the sport of running?
That's a good question. um, Definitely that you know, good things don't come easy. You have to work for anything good that you want in life, and a lot of those things take a lot of time and patience to work towards. So I think that's a big thing that it's taught me. Just a lot of big things will take a lot of work towards, and just making little progress every day. And you're not always going to see the progress, but you just have to really trust in it and really just be patient. Because if you rush things, then it's going to maybe get you a few gains right away, but then in the end, it's going to set you back a lot farther. And then you're going to have to work even more towards that goal. So I think just really trying to just improve on little things and just be patient.
Mm. That's yeah, that's great. I mean, working hard and putting the effort in, that's always going to be helpful in life in anything. So thank you for sharing that. And so Isabella, I want to be able to give you an opportunity if you uh, for any of those who may be listening, who maybe are younger runners or maybe just getting into the sport, what is maybe what's some words of encouragement or inspiration that maybe you'd like to be able to share with people?
Yeah, I think just really enjoy what you're doing. If you don't, I mean, you're not going to enjoy, every single day of training or just little things outside of training. It's going to become monotonous sometimes and boring at times, but just in the big picture, if you really just you have to enjoy what you're doing, or else you're not gonna, want to keep progressing in what you're doing because you don't have a why for it. And so just really try to enjoy what you're doing and be consistent with little things as much as you can. Obviously, there's gonna be setbacks at times, but just try to surround yourself with people who support and align with your goals as well. And just really surround yourself with a good group of people, and just be patient with goals, and don't try to, go get them and just push hard so much at once, and then it might set you back.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Isabella. Just enjoying the process. You said that earlier, and I think that certainly is something that all of us can do, not only in running but in life with different things. So thank you for sharing that. And so, Isabella, I just have a couple of questions just to kind of get to know you a little bit more, and these are kind of meant to be fun. And so, the first question is, um, on your playlist right now, what is like the top song or the top group or artist that you listen to?
I don't have any music apps or
Oh,
any
okay.
like podcast apps on my phone, so I could not answer that one because I really don't ever like listen to music or, have any of that. So I don't know. But if it was just like my favorite artist just to listen to like on the radio or anything, I don't really have a specific like group or artist, but I really like 70s music because my dad always
Okay.
plays that music because he's older and he was born in the 60s. And so he grew up listening to a lot of 70s music when he was younger. So we just kind of have that music around a lot at home and in the car. So I'd say 70s is probably one of my favorite genres.
Okay. Okay. Hey, you know what? That surprised me. No, no music, but hey, we all roll differently. So, uh, uh, so it's all good. Okay. So, as far as right now, what would you say is maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Uh, what would you say is your favorite movie that you have seen in the past year or
In the
overall?
past year. I don't really watch movies very often, but I'm
Okay.
trying to think. Hmm. Um, I just recently watched Zootopia 2 and I really liked that one.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah. I don't really know many. Probably like scarier, more serious movies. I kind of like Taken a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
That one's kind of scary-ish, but I like that one. Yeah.
All right, that's got I think it's got Liam
Mhm.
Neeson in it or
I think so,
Nelson.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's a good movie. I mean, it's suspenseful and kind of scary for
Mhm.
parents.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Okay, and then what do you enjoy doing in your downtime? Like, like? Do you play board games? What do you do for in your downtime that you find enjoyable?
I really like to bake and cook a lot, just like
Okay.
lots of different recipes, breads, desserts, or even dishes. I really like to do that. And I love watching any types of sports on TV, but mainly football. I
Okay.
really like college football a lot, not as much the pro, but I love watching college football for sure. And then, yeah, being able to play games with my family at home and going on walks with my dog and my mom. We have a trail that's really close to our house, and we go walk on there almost every day. So that's really nice too.
Okay. Nice, nice. That you caught me off guard again with the football, with the college football, and so I've got to ask, uh, who do you think is going to win the national championship, Indiana or
I think
Miami?
Indiana.
Indiana?
Indiana.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. I think there's a podcast guy. Or I don't know. I think this is their actual chant when they go Hoosiers or something like that, and I think it's fun because I would definitely join in on that. So, well,
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, do you have any questions or anything or any other comments for Isabella?
No, nothing in particular. I mean, let's see. You're a college football fan. Who is your favorite team or college?
I don't know if I really have like a favorite. I just kind of cheer for all the schools that my siblings went to, and then my mom and dad's colleges as well. But out of all of their five different schools, because they all went to different schools, Notre Dame's the
Mm.
best college football team out of all of their schools. So I would say they're probably my favorite. And then yeah, I like to cheer for Northwestern and Illinois and them too. But they're never as good as Notre Dame, so probably Notre Dame would be my favorite.
Nice, nice. Well, Isabella, I know you got some things you got to get done today. I just want to say thank you so much for taking some time and being on our podcast and coming on. Hopefully, we can do this again in the future. We would love to be able to have you on and have other conversations and everything. And we at least hopefully we'll see you too at the Nike Indoor Nationals in New York. That'll be a lot of fun. So. Um, Again, thank you so much. And to our listeners, hey, remember we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can follow us there, and also on YouTube. Uh, a review would be helpful. Share with your friends and family is always a good thing. So we look forward to our next conversation. And Isabella, we want to wish you the best in the track season, and hopefully we'll be able to catch you at some meets in the future. So that would be fantastic. So everybody, thank you so much for having listening. We hope you have a great week, and remember my voice as you approach whatever you're doing this week. And I want to encourage you and say andale and get that thing done. All right, guys. Hope you have a great week, and we will talk to you later.